Hello you. Who fancies a bit of tinkering then? I'll tell you one person who does, and that's me. I've got something for my BBC here. The BBC that I got last year and I've barely done anything with other than fixing the blown power supply. I've got a disk drive for it there, but I haven't got round to trying it because there's only one floppy. I don't know how good it is, so I don't know how much effort is needed on that. And, well, got some mounts there. I've got a teeny tiny CD that had a whopping great 4 PDF files on it. A cable. One of those with a card in it that supposedly has something on it. And the ROM chip. So I'll put those there. That on there for now. And that for instructions. Okay then. Fortunately there's a bit more info in the PDFs. So I got the main one printed out. And actually my BBC works. It has the bits in the power supply that Blue replaced. And I have a display and it says BBC Computer 32K Basic. It's got a slight grid pattern to the screen. I don't know if that's normal or just maybe the cable I've got, or I don't know, but it works, so that's the main thing. I have, let's knock that off before I do any more on that. I've already taken these screws out from the back and the underside, 4 in total, to give me this. And then I noticed, after a bit of mooching about and looking at where bits go on the inside, although the ROM chips go underneath here, you have a 6522 chip here, which is the system chip, and you're supposed to have another one there for expansions. So this isn't going to work until I get a 6522 to put in there. One is on its way, which should be arriving by the weekend, but I figured, well, before then I might as well get the rest of the other bits done, and then I can put the 6522 in, and then we'll be away to go. So, next thing is to get the keyboard undone. Actually, you know what? Probably be a good idea, me poking inside, if I unplug that. Yep, that's off. So, undo these little screws and nuts under here. Put that back on before I lose it. Put it there on the shelf. Let's do the same with that one. Fortunately not too tight, I can do it with my fingers. Eventually, he says. There we go. And drop out, thank you. Pop that one up there. So we can lift the keyboard out of the way now. And this chip would go in one of these. I think the priority of them goes that way. I don't know what that one is. It says D75CPGD, I think. But I don't think it matters too much what you put the ROM chip in. But anyway, let's take the keyboard out of the way for now. Gently wiggle it off there. And disconnect the speaker from there. And I'll put that over the side. Should be good. So, what I want to do, this has to go into that. So I figured if I can get it through there, but that won't go neatly through there without me removing the main board. So, there's a screw here. If I can get that with the little plastic grommet, there we go. Get that? Yes. And there's the second one. Put that there and there. We've got one over here. And the rubber grommet, please. Thank you. That's 3. There. That's 4. Can I get that grommet out as well? Come here. Fiddly. I haven't got the fattest fingers in the world, but that's not a small gap. There we go. Right. Right. We've got this. What's that? EcoNet video out. We've got video out with RF out, and the video out is screwed in there. Can I do that with my fingers? All right. I'm going to get pliers to undo that. Lefty loosey, yes. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Come here, you. It's going to be fiddly to get back on. It's fiddly enough to get off. Right, okay, that's loose there. Now, can I move this at all? Aha! Right, nothing's blocking at the back now. Try desperately not to snap that wire there. What's stopping this? Aha! There we go. Right, I'm guessing I'll put that in that. No, okay, we've got a notch on it so it only goes that way around. Nice little connectors that click in place. There we go, that's good. So let's pop that over there like that. Let's have a look underneath. Just a few dust bunnies, but nothing too bad. Come on. I want you to go back in neatly. Aha! Nice. Okay. Do I need to do anything else before I screw that back in? Don't think so. So let's pop that there. Oh, this is awkward. I've got a washer and a hoop with a wire coming off it, and then the nut. Oh, where those pliers go? Let's see if I can grab that. Right, you gotta go on there. Come on, there we go. Can I get that on as well? Yes, I can. Can I? That's awkward. Screw has got stuck on. There we go. No, come on loose. Don't you get hooked onto anything there. Right. That down the wire and back over the. And can I find the screw thread? Get the wire out of the way. Come on, screw thread, come on. You're there somewhere. I'm highly unlikely to ever use you, but I'm loath to damage you. Just in case I ever do get some kind of monitor that connects to that. I'm assuming a cub monitor is that connection. That'll do. I don't want to do it too tight. And let's. There we go. That's slid back in there nicely. And let's line up the screw holes. Come on, where are you? There we go, that was there. And you go over here somewhere, there we go. Right. Let's tighten you back up a little bit. There we go, they're all in. Let's tighten that one up. And it's nice and tight. Well, not too tight. Just tight enough, you know. There we go. So now we have this. which connects onto this. I'm guessing orange to orange. Right, so that's that. And obviously then you want to find somewhere to connect it, don't you? So where would it go? I'm not sure I like that. I mean, it could. And I could cut a notch at the back so I could get at the... I could get at the thing without popping the keyboard off, but... Oh, actually, there's a gap at the back there, is that... No, there's a... Can you see that? Yeah, there's a ridge at the back there. I thought maybe that would... But that's going to obscure that hole at the back there. Will you fit on, please? You should fit on now, shouldn't you? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Cables could come out through that, but... So I could always get this coming out and sticking out the back. But I don't really want that. I'd rather have the circuit board inside. Let's think. Nothing else left in there now, is there? No. Plug in and line up the orange tickers with the IDC connector and PCB board and connect it to the user port of your micro. Yes. To get you up and started, game menu is installed on SD card. Instructions and photos on disk. Well, let's take that off. Don't know what that says on it. 10F1L96008V5 MYS98615. And it's got a tab over it, so I'm guessing it's a EEPROM that if I take that off it will... So shall I put it in that? I think I'll put it in this one. And we'll see if that... Let's see if we can get that in nice and neatly. Try and push it down evenly. Come on, find your footing. It's there somewhere. There we go. Well, that's in. Right. So, I mean, the other option would be to put these little feet on the underside of here. Then I'm guessing that would make it awkward and taking that out, I'll have to then try and discount. I'd rather it was just neatly in there like that. Which I wonder. Let's put the keyboard back on and see what it looks like. Put that out the way. Keyboard's over here where I left it. Nothing else. I mean, I'll have to take the keyboard off again, won't I, in order to fit the 6522, and you go onto these pins here. Nope, one over. Let's shift it across. That looks right. There we go. Oh, just notice there's copyright 1982, 203,000, issue 7. This is an issue 7 board. Whether that's good or not, I have no idea. But they built a few of them, didn't they? Right, so that's there. That would go like that. Would I be able to? No. I wonder whether I could get that around there. I'm guessing it's going to have to be stuck on the back like that, although I could stick it there and maybe cut a notch through that. That could possibly work. But it is stuck to the lid again then, isn't it? You know what, I'm just going to leave it in there for now. Maybe just like that. Don't like that. I don't want it accidentally moving around, and you do want it fixed somewhere, don't you? It doesn't look like it's making any connections. There's no... That's pretty blank. All the circuitry's dead centre, so I could just pop it like that. I'll leave it like that for now. Let's put these nuts back on before we lose them. Loosely for now, it doesn't need to be tight. Let's move that there. The screw from the inside, there we are. Say screw, it's a bolt. There's the nut. Right, well that was fairly painless. Just got to get that 6522 in there, so come on Posty, hurry up with that. And then hopefully I'll be able to do a bit more with this. Yeah, there's the fourth one of those. Yeah, so once I've got that done, ROM sockets, blah 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 blah, make sure it's inserted in the correct polarity. The exact socket chosen for the ROM is not normally important. The user via is a 40-pin chip near the front of the machine. If there's an empty socket here, then you will need to obtain a via and all. Yes. So either, before this was mine, someone took that out and flogged it, or I suspect the system one died and they did a bodge fix by going, well, I've got a spare one that I'm not using because I'm not using any expansion, and stuck that one in there instead. So there's about it. Memory card sliding into the socket on the interface. Pillars are self-adhesive pads. These are surprisingly strong, so be careful where you locate them. They are a good method of attaching the interface internally if that's what you intend to do eventually. Initially, we suggest the arrangement is external with the interface just lying on the desk somewhere. You can safely insert or remove the cards with the computer switched on, although it would be wise to perform a hard reset after changing cards this way. If you intend to mount the interface internally, then a good position is normally on the underside of the lid in the top right corner. Oh, right, okay. Ideally, for neatness, route the ribbon cable under the main circuit board. Oh well. We're not being neat. Oh, it doesn't look messy anyway. There's enough other messy cables around anyway. You will have to partially remove the main board in order to do this, and probably need to make up the ribbon cable of exactly the right length. Well, I'm not doing that. You'll notice the ribbon cable can be easily unplugged from the interface at any time. This is particularly useful when the interface is mounted internally, because it's then much simpler to completely remove the computer's lid for servicing and general access. Well, anyway, let us find the plug. Let's turn it on and see whether anything goes poof. Hopefully not. Well, it still does the boop beep. Turn the TV on. Turn the volume down because we'll just get a lot of static. I don't want something like 23, didn't I? Oh, helps if I You didn't tell me to plug the aerial back in, did you? There we go. Bit noisy, but still working. Now, what was the it probably won't do anything because it's got no. But if I do, so help, was it? DFS 0.9, DFS utils, DUtils, DFS 0.9, DFS utils, OS 1.2. I know nothing. To quote Manuel from Faulty Towers, I know nothing. Yeah, it's got stuff, but I'm guessing DFS is the disk access system. I wonder whether that chip was one. Why does it come with two? Something for me to look at, I'm guessing. Oh, it says type star card and star DB1. Well, it's not going to do anything, is it? Because it's going to give me a question mark on it. Yeah, card, what do you mean? Well, when the ROM chip's in, hopefully you'll understand that, and you'll be able to open up a whole new world of gaming to me. But until then, there's not a great deal else I can do. So I'll leave this here, and when Posty arrives with another 6522, I shall continue this video and we will see where we end up. So, you obviously won't have to wait so long, because it'll be coming up after this. I, however, will probably have to wait another day or two. But there we go. I'll see you in a bit, hopefully. Ta-ta. Right, hello you. Here we are back again. It is now Friday night. The post has arrived. We have a 6522 chip. I found my USB little torch, so that might be handy for pointing bits out, I figure. I'll put that down safely without it falling down. There we go. And I've even got changed out of my work clothes as well. So, where were we? We just needed to fit that, didn't we? And I hadn't screwed that back on again, because that would have been pointless. I did screw this back on. So, Let's unplug to be safe. There we go. We are off. There we go. It's coming off nicely there now. There's one. I mean, I could probably fit that in there without removing the keyboard, but I think it's probably going to be easier if I do. So let's not bodge it. Last thing I want to do is bend the pins on that now, isn't it? Okay, let's pull that off. And plonk that over on Archie over there. And oh yes, I did put the chip in as well, right? Okay, let's get this. There we go. So we'll be wanting to put it there. Does that make it any clearer for you? Not particularly, especially as I'm pointing the wrong way there. It's about there. So, is any help to you at all? I don't know. Probably not. But let's go. We're going to line up nicely. And pushing gently but evenly. That looks good to me. Yep, that looks okay. So that's in. Right. Well, that looks like that's everything needing to be done. So let's, where was the speaker going? There. Other way around, I think. There we go. And keyboard back on. Right. And let's pop these back in. Where's the hole? What the hell did I put it on too low? Put it on too low. This is 2 holes here, and I had it lined up with the low one. It's supposed to go in the upper one. Where are you? Where are you? You're under here somewhere. There, come on. There we go. You can tell that these really were made for people who like tinkering, enthusiasts, shall we say, because everything that you need to remove is neatly labelled, and there's no plastic clips that will wear out through time. Everything's screws and nuts and bolts, which is nice. You can tell it was much more of a hobbyist thing. They were expecting you to open up and switch chips out and do stuff like that, as opposed to C64, which is pretty much a sealed unit, wasn't it? No user serviceable parts inside and all that malarkey. Speckies, I suppose you were expected to build them yourself, so but they expected you to go inside, but it wasn't as nicely, neatly laid out like this. You can see probably why BBC went, yes, that's a good machine for an educational thing. They're sturdy, they lasted well in schools. It's simply designed, nicely laid out, everything's clear, everything's easy to work with, and should kids break it, it's nicely modular that you can swap out parts. It's good design. It's just a shame it sounded so bloody awful and had that horrendous selection of colours, but hey ho. You know what, I think I'm going to plug it in before I screw the case on and just check that everything's a-okay. Because it'd be sod's law if I screw the case on, then I'll find out it doesn't work. So, TV on. And 23, wasn't it? We have the video cable in, we have the volume all the way down, I hope. And oh, BBC Computer 32K Super MMC Basic. Right, what does that say to do? Star card. Okay, I guess we're telling it go for the code. Did we have that green light there before? I don't know. Star DB.0. Star DB.0. TV 25 minutes. Oh, that's a good sign, isn't it? Page 1 of 65. Oh, it's like teletext. There's the hold and reveal buttons. Oh, that is magical. Buckaroo Banzai, the adventure. Sorcerer of Claymore Castle. I played that on C64 not that long ago on 10 Computer Hits 1, wasn't it? Got a fair few adventures that alienate. Amidar. Annabelle Grey. Okay, I have no idea. Arcadia, Arcadians. Arkanoid. Oh, right. Asteroids Deluxe. Auf Wiedersehen, Pet. Ah. As read about in Attack of the Flickering Skeletons, if I remember correctly, it's one of the first ones in here. Ah, there we go. Oh joy. I can... Well, that's where that comes in handy, isn't it? Oh yes, that's really giving a lot of light. Well, there we go. Attack of the Flickering Skeletons by Stuart Hasham. I don't know if the Flickering Skeletons are showing up there, but yeah, so I can avoid that. Banana Man, I didn't know there was a Banana Man game. Marvellous. Barbarian 2, Battlezone 2000, BC Bill, Beachhead, Beverly Hills Cop, Birds of Prey, that sounds familiar, Blockade, how many different versions of two versions of Blockbusters, and one called Blockbuster. That's probably an Arkanoid type one, isn't it? Blue Dragon, BMX on the Moon, that sounds silly. Lord of the Rings 1, 2, 3 and 4. Boulder Dash, Brian Jack Superstar, Brian Class Football Fan, Bubble Bobble, ooh, and Bruce Lee. No, Bruce Lee was on the BBC. Buffalo Bills Rodeo Games. Caesar the Cat. Ooh, what are we up to C so far? Page 13. Chucky Egg. Citadel and Citadel 2. That had speech, didn't it, if I remember correctly? Colossal Adventure. Computer Maniac's Diary 1989. What a terrible waste of time that is from what I've read. And nice how it gives us the publishers on the side. Oh, Cookie. I've got Cookie for the Spectrum, and I haven't played it yet. You can't see that, can you? There we go. I've never played Cookie. It's another one I've still got to get around to. That'll be fun. Cosmic Cruiser, for Imagine. Oh, yeah, I know the cover for that now. I thought the name sounded familiar. Cybertron, haha, Cybertron, the Berserk clone that I played on the 64. Oh, Daredevil Dennis and Danger UXB. Now they ring bells. They ring big bells now. I'm going to have to go Daredevil Dennis, aren't I? Let's... Oh, Simon Pick. Oh my word. Well, of course he did that and then went on to Kikstart and things. I remember drawing levels for Daredevil Dennis in my school book when I was, oh my god, how old was 7 probably? It's playing music, right? Is that light flashing then, or did I just look away at the wrong time? Space is jump, shift is accelerate, return is stop. Okay, space, accelerate. Yeah, well, we'll go with novice. Oh, I've gone for Oscar winner. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Ooh. Damn, I hit the tree. Yes, if I remember correctly, the levels that I drew were like they were in a cave. Yay! Oh, I'm going to get nobbled by the spider. No, I'm not. Spider looks like Wordy from Words and Pictures. Ah, now I am Roger Moore. Oops. And over there. And let's jump again so we avoid that. And jump again. And whee! There's not a great deal to it, really, is there? Didn't give me much of a run up for that, did it? Oh, I was underneath that helicopter. Ginny, what type of helicopter is that? I don't have my Top Trumps collection of helicopters anymore. Oops, hit the tree. You are fired. Well, I hope I get compensation. Well, yeah, that I was paid £450 for breaking my neck several times there. Let's knock that off. Pop it back on again, and let's just go star card star db.0. I'll get used to typing that, I'm sure. Let's see what else we had after D for Daredevil Dennis. Donkey Kong Jr., Doctor Who and the Mines of Terror, and Doctor Who the First Adventure. E-Type. Okay. I'm guessing that's based on cars, not a shoot 'em up. Empire Strikes Back. Oh, that could be interesting with decent vector graphics, decent speed. Fire Track. That sounds familiar. The vertical scrolling shoot 'em up. Football Manager. I doubt I'll ever play those. Fruit Machine Simulators. And Gauntlet. Jeff Capes. Glider Pilot. Oh no, I was thinking Glider Rider then. Grand Prix Construction Set. Gremlins. Oh, Green Beret. Yes, I remember Chinny's review of Green Beret. We'll be avoiding that one. Helter Skelter. Ooh, anything else I recognise here? Hunchback on the Beeb. What was that? By Ocean, yeah, and Hunchback by Superior. Impossible Mission. I've never seen that on the BBC. I've only ever played the C64 version. I haven't done you a video of that one yet, have I? Jam Butty. What? Right. For non-British people, police cars were often called jam sandwiches or jam butties because they were white and then they had a red stripe and then they were white again, so they looked like a jam sandwich. Sometimes you had a lemon curd sandwich because some of them had yellow stripes down the centre. So I wonder if Jam Butty is about a police car. Jetpack. Jet Set Willy and Jet Set Willy 2. Caliph. Caliph rings a bell, although I suspect it's probably an adventure. Oh, Kane as well. Oh no, I remember. I think it was another one of Chinny's videos, wasn't it? Of Kane. And Clacks. Last Ninja 1 and 2. Okay. Living Daylights is going to be terrible, isn't it? I just know it is. Life of Repton. Lode Runner, Lord of the Rings, Lunar Jetman, Lunar Lander, Lunar Rescue, Mad Monty, Manic Miner, Masters of the Universe. Oh, Mega Apocalypse by Martek. That's going to be interesting to compare to the Commodore 64 version, especially seeing as where are we? It's here somewhere. Yeah. seeing as I have the C64 version on disc. I'm not sure if I've done that one for you yet. I've done Crazy Comics because I've done 10 Computer Hits 3, haven't I? But I don't think I've done Mega Apocalypse. There's another one to do. Mr. Do and Mr. E. One of those was a very good cover version of Mr. Do, I believe. I think it might have been Mr. E. I don't know whether Mr. Do is any good. I suspect Mr. Mephisto is probably the same. Mr. Wimpy. Nemesis on the Beeb, okay. Nightshade by Ultimate. Oh, Nutcracker. I remember playing Nutcracker on a friend's machine once. A squirrel-based platformer. Don't know if it's any good, but I remember it being quite fun at the time. Pac-Man. I'm just reading a list now. This is thrilling viewing, isn't it? Hypermania. I didn't even... Hang on, I just realised this is page 43. I didn't see Elite. Elite, there we go. Elite Tube and Master Enhanced version. Okay, so back to page 43. I didn't see Exile either. I'm sure that's there as well. Hubert. Pontoon, not Platoon. Quest for the Holy Grail. Raid over Moscow. Okay. Lots of Reptons. Why did everyone like Repton? I found it terrible. I wasn't even a fan of Boulder Dash, so whether I'd like Repton was never going to happen, was it? Revs, Rick the Roadie. There's another one from Attack of the Flickering Skeletons. Rubik Cube. That's definitely not infringing copyright. Saberwolf, Sam Fox Poker. Scramble by various different publishers. Southern Belle. You fancy some steam train action? Spitfire 40, Spitfire Flight Simulator, Spitfire Simulation, Spy Hunter. Don't think I've ever played that one either. Spy vs Spy. Got a few Star Treks there, a couple of Star Wars. Starquake by Bulbus, of which I've got 2 copies already, one on Spectrum, one on 64. Steve Davis Snooker, done twice by 2 different publishers again. A couple more strip poker games. Suicide Island, well that sounds like a lovely place to have a holiday. Superman the game, and Super Gran. Super Gran is, I suspect, another one in the Attack of the Flickering Skeletons. I'm sure I've read about that somewhere. Tetris, the Archers. Oh, marvellous! The Archers. I can't even imagine what was happening back then in the Archers. Someone just died of sepsis in tonight's episode, and it was very, very tragic. I think I must be hormonal because I was almost crying. Very, very emotional episode. You could tell it was going to happen because Eddie Grundy had managed to save a lamb, and he was going, oh, sometimes you lose them, and sometimes with a bit of care you can save the little ones. You just think, shit, well, she's not going to make it now, is she? No. Sorry, spoilers, but I'll put this out several weeks after that's happened. Thrust, Thrust is a classic on the air, I believe. Twin Kingdom Valley, that sounds familiar as well. Uridium. Something tells me that's not going to be as good as the 64 version, though I could be proven wrong. War, W-A-R, that sounds familiar, by Martech as well. Raid Exploding Fist, I'm pretty sure I played that on here. Who Dares Wins 2. Whoopsie and Wiggles. Yeah, don't get games like that these days, do you? Wizardor, Whizzalon, Wizzy's Mansion. Wongo. There's 2 games called Wongo. And page 65. Yes, Prime Minister, ye are Kung Fu. Right. Well, that all looks good. I've got plenty to go. I've got 65 pages of stuff there, so I don't think I'm going to be removing that card anytime soon. Obviously there are some new titles coming out, but let's see, I just happen to have another spare 128 meg card there, so anything new that comes along I'm sure I can slap onto that instead. So I wonder, shall I don't mind that there, maybe pop that in there, maybe just with a couple of lugs. I think I'll knock this off. Unplug. Let's see, without taking the sticky off. Now it's sitting on top of the... I don't want it blocking that. You know what, I think I might just shove it loose down the side there. That seems perfectly fine to me. Maybe not have it on the standoffs. Maybe I could just take the... put some sticky down and just stick it directly to the side wall there. So the standoffs for something else. That fits quite neatly there, I think, and doesn't seem to be touching anything. But for now I'll just leave it loose. I'm not going to get shaking around too much. And let's see, we've got the screws there. Let's get that cable out of the way there. Shame this, someone's peeled off the black plastic from there. It'd be nice if I could get a replacement bit to cover that. But there you go. It's purely aesthetic. That's the word I'm struggling for. Purely aesthetic. I mean, it's quite something that I've still got. Where's that screwdriver gone? Yeah. That's nice and clean and undamaged. So that's quite something. BBC Owl there. So let's pop these ones on here. There we go. And there and there. Everything's really neatly labelled as well. Or by serial number. If anyone wants to know the serial number, it's 5001872. Put some tape on that before it gets torn off. It's always there now. Check. Oh yeah. No, I unplugged it. I turned that off. Yes, I did. And the volume. And start. Card, start db.0 and volume down please. Yes, we're still working, lovely. So there we go, that's how you fit an SD card into your BBC, and if it doesn't work because you're missing bits, that's how you get the bits and put those bits in so it works. And hey presto, the entire world of old BBC games is suddenly open to you without having to fanny around with disc drives or cassette decks or any of that. Much though I love doing that on the Spectrum and the 64, I'm not that bothered on the BBC. I just want to play the games and remind myself what that was like. Maybe get a logo robot at some point, eh? So, not much more I can say there really. Oh, cassette motor light, I guess I'll never see that lighting up. Shift lock, there we go. Well, you can't have shift lock and caps lock on at the same time. I guess they kind of do the same, but not. Well, we're learning things all the time, aren't we? there we go. That's my BBC fully, well, I say fully, pimped up enough to my level, thank you very much. I just need to get myself a joystick now, really, I suppose, although they were absolutely terrible. If anyone's got a BBC joystick they'd like to send to me, that'd be lovely. Otherwise I'll have to keep hunting eBay until the one turns up and isn't stupidly expensive, because I refuse to pay silly money for a terrible joystick, because I've got enough of those as it is. Yeah, so look out for some BBC games coming up on the channel in the future, along with Atari 7800 and the PC Engine, and eventually at some point I'll get the Jaguar videos going, and well, obviously you might see in the background here Archimedes stuff as well, maybe, hopefully, at some point. It's all going great guns now, isn't it? So plenty of variety. Give us a shout as to what you'd like to see, because obviously I'm still going to be doing Commodore 64 and things like that. If I ever get another Vectrex cartridge, I'll be firing the Vectrex up. Still plenty more to go. More light gun games to go. All sorts. So thanks for sticking with me, if you've stuck with me this long. If you're a new viewer, thank you, and hope you enjoy what you see. But time for me to knock it on the head now, and because it's now 5 to midnight, and I need to get a cuppa on. So yeah, that's the BBC done. Look out for more to come. Hope you enjoyed watching. Catch you on the next one, maybe. Ta-ta.